Hey guys, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a little while since I posted a video, but I'm back. I just wanted to do a quick little update video today and just kind of show you what I have in bloom. Nothing too fancy, just a casual little catch-up video. And Toothless wanted to say hi as well. He's being cute today, so I wanted to give him some attention. But let's go ahead and check out some orchids. Hey. Chill, dude. Oops, I dropped it. It's on the floor, dummy. There we go. Jeez. First up, here is my Den Firewings, performing really well for me. These are pretty easy growing and easy blooming anyway, but I'm still pretty impressed with the amount of flowers. A few of them dropped, a few of them blasted. There was more to begin with, but wow, is this thing gorgeous. So I think everyone should get one of these. They're awesome. All these Latoria type dendrobiums are really cool. I was growing this outside during the summer. It grew super well for me, but these two growths have come in after I brought it inside. So you can see that they have come in a bit kind of flimsier. It needs it pretty bright in order for those canes to grow nice and tall and upright. Last thing I'll say is that these guys are quite hungry and thirsty. I find they like a lot of water and a good amount of fertilizer. There's a lot of plants here to support, so they need a good deal of water and nutrition. I'd still let it, you know, dry out a touch between waterings, but I love this thing. Staying with dendrobiums here for a minute. This is a no ID den fowl that I had bought from some grocery store. It's my first time reblooming it. The colors don't really show up very well for me here. It looks better in like natural daylight. It's this like creamy greenish yellow color with a nice dark purple lip. A lot of these kind of very hybridized dendrobiums are pretty easy blooming. They don't need it quite as bright as some others, but it still needs a fair amount of light. I would say definitely more than a phal, but maybe not quite Callia level light. And no fragrance on this, unfortunately, but it's pretty nonetheless. Oh, and I did just want to show you real quick, all of my Nobiles are in spike. I'm not going to pull these out because it's not worth it. There's not much to see yet anyway, but I've got some buds. Luckily, I get pretty cold temperatures in the winter, and I kind of have like a porch. It's like a covered, screened in area, but I can stick some of these cooler growing ones outside for a couple hours here and there, and it seems to be enough to help me rest some of these dendrobiums. So I'll have some Den Nobile flowers soon, which is exciting. Moving on to Callias, here is my Varroot Star Trek. There it is. And I bought this kind of just as like an impulse purchase. I just thought it was kind of cool and bought it. But it's one of those ones that I ended up liking so much more than I thought I would. These are my favorite types of Callias. They're kind of like, smallish, really waxy flowers I think are really cool. I kind of prefer these to like the big floofy Callias, but I like those too, don't get me wrong. But I really like the nice kind of like tight shape and form on these. It had a couple more flowers, I think. These blooms have aged a bit. The flowers are a bit different looking when they first open. It's more of like a brightly contrasting red and yellow, but as the flowers age, the yellow kind of turns to orange and everything just kind of gets redder looking. But it's still beautiful nonetheless. It's got a light fragrance, nothing too exciting. And I really love the growth habit too. It just has cool looking canes and I like the leaves. It likes it pretty bright. I would say maybe not quite as bright as some of the super highlight Callias, but it does pretty well under my lights. I'm not sure how it would do in a windowsill. Maybe it would do fine. It's quite thirsty for a Callia as well. Here is my Potinara Love Avenue Serenade. It's a nice flower there, pretty nice saturation of color. I like that a lot. My inflorescence came out really stubby and the bloom didn't kind of give itself enough room to open fully. I'm not totally sure what causes that. If you've experienced that or if you have any idea what that means, let me know. But it's still nice nonetheless. It's got a mild fragrance. I feel like the fragrance would be nicer and probably stronger, again, if the flower kind of had a better form. This is actually my first time reblooming it, and it took kind of longer than I thought it should have. Like I grew these 3 growths altogether before it bloomed. I was kind of surprised that I wasn't able to bloom it sooner, but I did repot it. That can set them back a bit. Maybe it's just a bit more temperamental as far as repots go. It just takes longer to acclimate. Keep that in mind if you have one of these. But it's nice. I'm looking forward to maybe getting better bloom displays in the future. Up next is my BLC Dream Dust, which is a really cool Callia. I love the spots on this thing. There's a lot of spotted Callias out there, but this one's cool. It just kind of has a different looking kind of pattern to the spots. They're really nice, and actually the blooms can be quite variable. I've seen other people post pictures of theirs, and it's one of those ones where the amount of light like really has a big effect on the flowers. Like you can get a lot more pink or a lot more white, or the spots could be larger or smaller. So it's quite interesting, and even in the course of one blooming, like it has changed a lot from the way it looked when it first opened. The flowers are getting a bit older, but they're still beautiful. And actually, I didn't think this is fragrant, but it's fragrant. It definitely is. It's really beautiful and quite easy growing and easy blooming as well. Again, I would say on the Callia scale of light, I would say it's like a medium. Not the hardest thing to grow, very pretty. Love it. Here is my Hawaii Stars pink lace. The flower is starting to fade a bit. This color was a bit brighter, had a bit of a nicer form when it first opened, but it's been a while. These flowers last a long time. One of the most fragrant Callias I've ever smelled, I think. This one bloom can like fill a small room. It's still very fragrant, even though the flower is like weeks old at this point. That's kind of why I love it. The flowers are nice, but they're not, you know, the most interesting Callia flowers out there. But I'm really in love with the fragrance. It smells a lot like a Walkeriana, if you've ever smelled one of those. I believe it's got Walkeriana in its heritage as well. So the fragrance is really nice. I like the growth habit too. I like the leaves. They're nice and cool and spiky looking, and it doesn't get very big. It's just a very nice Callia. Also, check it out. I have Cymbidiums in spike. Look at that. I'm so excited. I really love Cymbidiums, and I haven't been growing them for that long. This is actually my first time reblooming these. I think I've had them for 2 years, and luckily I live in New England. The secret to blooming most of these guys is to just let them get cold as hell. That seems to do the trick. I've got 2 spikes on this one. We've got 1 spike down there. It's not the best blooming on some of these. This one down here has only got 1 spike, not that many flowers on it. Skip over my Masdevallias, they're not doing much right now. Here's my other big Cymbidium. There's a nice spike there, and a nice spike back there too. So they're huge. I was getting kind of annoyed with them for a while because they weren't blooming for me and they were just taking up a lot of space. But I'm really excited and I'm so glad that I hung in there. And I can't wait to show you guys the flowers on these. They are really, really awesome. All right, guys, I guess that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I know I haven't been posting as often lately. It gets dark earlier here in the winter, so the lighting isn't as good for filming videos and stuff. And I've had a hard time coming up with ideas for things to film about. If you have any suggestions for me, please let me know. If you have any requests, I'd be happy to make a video for you. But in the meantime, say goodbye to Toothless. Please subscribe, it would make Toothless really happy. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.